Hello! Welcome back to another episode of Liz Explains Movies. My name is Liz. This is a cinematic adventure brought to you by Boredom and Dialysis. And I'm dialyzing as we speak, as we speak. And I've had a busy morning already, and I'm cold. I've had a busy morning. I woke up. I did this water test on my machine that I had to do, and I have to take it into them today. I did the water test. Then I started my machine. Then I went to go drive two kids that I drive on Tuesdays and Thursdays only. Pretty much stopped driving in the mornings anymore, but I drive them on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I drove them, and then I came back, went to Starbucks, got some gas. I came back, I paid a bill, started the machine. I had to do labs, so I have 4 of these little test tubes I got to do. 3 of them are on ice already because I have to keep them cold. So I keep them cold like before I take them into the clinic. I take them in like by noonish, and it's 10:20. I have an hour and 51 minutes left on the machine, so it's kind of the timing is working out. So I do 3 of them before I do my treatment, and then I do 1 of them at the end. I have that spinning machine thing, centrifuge. So I had to spin 1 of them, but I have to wait 30 minutes. There's a lot of moving parts with this. And then this is the one I do after, and I don't wait 30 minutes before I spin this one. I just spin this one right away. And then when it's done spinning and I'm off the machine totally, I fly to my clinic because I have to pick up kids at 2:40. So yeah. So I've had a busy morning already. And then I have been watching a couple movies. Oh, Spencer's coming home too. He goes to college away, but he comes home a lot of weekends because he feels like he works really, really hard. He gets very good grades, and he works really hard during the week, and then he likes to come home on the weekends a lot because there's not a lot to do on his campus. I don't know. He and his roommate come home a lot on the weekends. It's like about an hour away. And then he's like sleeps and hangs out with the dogs and gets more homework done. And he's kind of a workaholic when it comes to homework. Anyway, so yeah, that's what I'm doing. So Spencer's going to be coming home. Mary is my friend. Okay. Mary is the mother of Spencer's roommate, and she and I are friends. We live in the same town, and so Simon's family, we take turns driving them home from college. So Mary usually gets them home for the weekend, and then we take them back, the 2 of them. And yes, we have the Grandma Jeep, and they're supposed to be driving that, but we haven't. It's got to pass the smog, and I don't know, who cares. Anyway, so today's movie. So yeah, I do a lot in the morning. I do a lot already. I've done a lot. I was going to make like a sign for up here, but I didn't. So the movie for today, I have 2 things. I'm going to talk about a movie. I did watch 2 movies, but I'm only reviewing 1. I'm going to do the other one later. And then I also watched another episode of Mary Tyler Moore. So the movie for today is called Return to Me. It's a sweet little movie. Again, I don't know what year it was made. I think year 2000. Boy, do you remember the year 2000? Before 9/11, before anything? The world was very different. tell you that. Okay, so anyway, it's a very sweet little movie. It's kind of, it stars David Duchovny. It stars Minnie Driver, the late great Carol O'Connor. It was written and directed, and she's in it too, is Bonnie Hunt. She's a very funny actress. She was also in Jerry Maguire. I'm trying to think what other movies Bonnie Hunt was in, but she was in Jerry Maguire. She was in Rain Man. She was in this movie. She's kind of a really funny actress person. Anyway, I really like her, and she wrote and directed the movie. She used to be a nurse, and then she became a comic. And so this movie is about, it's really interesting. It takes place in Chicago. Everyone in the movie has a Chicago accent. It's really funny. It really captures what it's like in Chicago. You know, a certain part of Chicago, certain parts of that. Okay, so it takes place in Chicago. It is about a girl named Grace and a guy named Bob. And so, sorry, my table moved. So Grace is a girl who is in need of a heart transplant. And she could barely breathe in the beginning of the movie. She's very, very suffering because she needs a heart transplant. Her heart has failed. Her mom died of heart disease, and her dad took off, and so she was raised by her grandfather, played by Carol O'Connor, and her uncle, Angelo. And so she is, the people that she has in her world are her sister. Her sister Megan, played by Bonnie Hunt, and her grandfather, and she has this small little world. She can't travel, she can't do a lot of things, but she is a painter. She loves to garden, and she's a sweet girl. Her name is Grace. Grace. So, okay, so Grace needs a heart, and she's not going to make it much longer if she doesn't get a heart transplant. Okay, Bob is not an architect. He's like, yeah, he's an architect. He designs big, giant buildings, you know. He's married to, well, I don't know what she is, a primatologist or something. She works with apes at the Chicago Zoo. And he's friends with this veterinarian named Charlie, played by David Ellen Greer, very funny. And her name is Elizabeth Ruland, and his name is Bob Ruland. So his wife is, she's a primatologist, and he has decided in her, he's going to build the apes this big new habitat, new enclosure at the Chicago Zoo. And it's going to be big and beautiful and so much better for this ape named Sydney is the ape that Elizabeth is so close to. And she's really raised him since he was a baby, and she, you know, has trained him sign language and all this stuff. She's like one of these people. Okay. So you've got Grace, who needs a heart, and you've got Bob and Elizabeth, who Elizabeth works at the zoo, and Bob is an architect. And they're just living their lives in Chicago, and everything's copacetic. And then they have this big fundraiser for the gorilla enclosure, and they have this, like, gala, you know, and Elizabeth goes to the gala with her husband, Bob, and on the way home, there's a terrible car accident. And Bob comes home alone. Elizabeth dies during this car accident. It's very, very sad. Also, that same night, interestingly enough, when Elizabeth dies, Grace gets the phone call. She's going to get a new heart. It's ready. You have to be at the hospital right now. You're getting a new heart tonight. So she gets a new heart. And she's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. And I get a new chance at life. And, you know. So then you fast forward to like 6 months, and Bob is now a widower, and he's living in this house with his dog named Mel, and he's He doesn't want to date. He doesn't want to do anything. He just gets carry out food, and his house is a mess, and he hangs out with his dog, and he was a workaholic, and he's crabby, and all this stuff. And then he keeps doing the work on the enclosure and the other buildings that he's working on, his company. And then his friend Charlie is like, you have to go on a date with me. You have to go on a double date. I found a girl for you. She's really nice. She's got a great body. She's really nice. And you have to go on a date. And you come out Friday night. And he's like, okay, finally, I'll go out Friday night. So he goes out Friday night with his friend Charlie. And they go to this Italian-Irish restaurant. It's a real restaurant in Chicago. Excuse me. Sorry about that. It's a real restaurant in Chicago. And they go out to eat there, and he's on this double date with this horrendous woman, and she's really obnoxious, and he doesn't like her. And so, sorry, my company is texting me. Okay, so it happens to be the restaurant that Grace's family owns. Grace's grandfather and her uncle, Angelo, own this this Italian-Irish restaurant called O'Reilly's. I think it's called O'Reilly's, and they have Italian and Irish food. It's kind of funny, and there are these old guys that work there in the back, and they're really sweet. And this old lady waitress, she's really sweet. And then, of course, Bonnie Hunt is the sister, and she's married to a Chicago policeman. And anyway, so Grace is a waitress at the restaurant. She's been out of the heart transplant now, and her whole life has changed. She can ride a bike now. She can travel if she wants. She's painting more. She's gardening more. She's not stuck in bed. She's not sick anymore because she got this new heart, and she has a new chance at life, and she's enjoying it. And she wants to go to Italy, and her grandfather buys her a ticket, and it's really exciting. She's looking forward to it. And then guess who comes into the restaurant with his double date? Bob. Bob comes into the restaurant, and the double date is really obnoxious, but they sort of have a little connection. And then he accidentally leaves his phone at the restaurant, and he has to go back and get it. And somebody calls him and says, oh, your phone's at the restaurant, you better go back. So he goes back after hours to get the phone, and he sees her, and they sort of hit it off, and they start dating. And it's really sweet. And it's a really sweet movie. And right after she had her transplant, right? After you have a transplant of an organ, you write an anonymous letter to the donor's family. And you say, listen, this thing changed my life, and I can do all these things, and I'm so sorry for your loss, but I want you to know that, you know, it went to good use, and I'm really never going to take it for granted, and all this stuff. So you write these letters. And I know someone who had a heart transplant, and I think they write letters to their family. So, but it's sent anonymously. You send it to this organization. The organization forwards it, so it stays anonymous. So she put it on this pink stationery, and she thought it was weird to have to thank a family for this. She was like, oh, I feel so bad. I can't say a letter that it has enough thanks. I mean, you know, but anyway, she does it. And anyway, so she sends off the letter, and then she's dating Bob, and Bob's getting along with her family, and everything's really great, and Bob loves her, and she loves Bob, and it's really working out, and, you know, it looks like they're gonna really make it. And then she goes to Bob's house, and she sees on his desk the letter. Ruh-roh. She finds out it's her letter. And he doesn't know it. So she hasn't told him that A, he had heart surgery. She had open heart surgery. And she has a heart transplant. She also didn't tell him. She finds out the date of Elizabeth's accident, and she's like, oh my God. I have his wife's heart. What am I going to do? Like, how's he going to feel about this? Like, he's never going to... I finally find a guy finally dating someone nice. I'm finally happy in my life, and I find out, you know, and it kind of goes from there. And I hope I didn't give away the whole movie, but it's very sweet. It has some very funny moments. It's a very sweet, sweet movie, and I think that if you watch it, you will really, really like it. There are some great performances. Minnie Driver, of course, is always delightful, and David Duchovny, and you know, it's got some really funny moments. Bonnie Hunt is hysterical in it. Jim Belushi's in it. He plays her husband. Bonnie Hunt has like 5 kids. Her husband's always trying to set Grace up with a guy, and he tries to set her up with an ex-priest. It's very funny. You have to see this movie. It's great. It's very sweet. If you want just something light and fun to watch during your treatment, or just because you're bored, definitely check out Return to Me. I'm putting the trailer in the thing below. And then also, I don't know if I have enabled comments on these posts, and I'm going to try something different today so that maybe you can enable comments, because I was looking for comments from people and there aren't any, and I'm like, oh, because they can't leave any because I put it in wrong or something. So I don't know. I'm still figuring this out. We are still a work in progress here, but I'm really having fun with this. The other thing I watched was Mary Tyler Moore Season 1, Episode 4. It's about divorce. I can't remember the actual name of it, but it's hilarious. This is an episode we get to see finally Ted Baxter some more. He's talking about his fan club and all this, and then Mary and Murray start talking about in the office. They start talking about, have you ever tried one of these social clubs to meet people? And Murray heard of a social club that's for divorced people called, oh my god, what is it called? But it's so funny. It's like Second Chance Losers or something like that. Not like that. It's called the something club, the Second Chance Club or something. It's really funny. And so Mary and Rhoda tries to talk Mary into going to this club to just check it out. And Mary's like, first of all, okay, there are problems here. We're not divorced. We've never been married. And I don't want to meet the kind of people that hang out in these kind of clubs. And Rhoda's like, come on, just open your mind a little bit. Like, you know, where else are we going to meet people? There could be some nice guys there, blah, blah, blah. And then she finally talks Mary into it, because there is a thing that if you, after 6 months joining this club, you get a free airplane ticket to Paris. I don't know why, but that was an incentive. And Mary said, really? That's expensive. You know, that's $400 or whatever. So Rhoda's like, now do you want to join? Okay. So they go to this meeting of this crazy divorced people's club, and you can only imagine who is there, and a lot of weirdos, and they have to make up a story about why they're divorced and who they were married to. And Rhoda says she's married to an astronaut, but she doesn't want to tell his name because, you know, the government's after him or whatever. It's just so funny. It's so funny. And there are so many funny parts of this episode. It's hilarious. And you can watch that entire episode down below in the description also. And I hope that you do. I hope you're actually watching these movies, or at least the Mary Tyler Moore episodes, because that show is some of the best writing ever, and it's just packed. It's dense. Those shows are dense. They are just boom, 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 one after another. Just very, very funny things, and very clever, and things you don't expect. And yeah, when Mary and Rhoda go to the divorce club, the Second Chance Club, I can't remember what it is, but oh my god, she meets this dentist, and I don't know, it's very, very, very funny. It's very funny. And so I hope you guys check it out. I hope that everyone is at least looking at some of these movies. Tomorrow not tomorrow, but the next episode is going to be exciting too. I'm not going to tell you what movie, but it's a very, very, very good movie. One of my favorites. So, thanks for joining me. Be sure and like and subscribe if you like these movies, and if you have any suggestions, maybe you can actually leave comments. I don't know, and we'll see. The jury's still out, right? We'll cross our fingers. And thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.